LBD Sports visits Atlantic Hotel in Banjul. The National Interdepartmental Sports Association Nisa 2023 is being hosted by the Gambia in Banjul. It is a one-week event that brings together different countries in Africa to compete in different kinds of sports discipline. This year edition attracts nearly 23 delegates and are expected to participate in a one-week championship in Banjul. The event is organized and supported by the Gambia government via the National Sports Council, according to Mr. President Saikou B Jarju. In this medium, as we visit the hotel where most of the delegates are being hosted and are camping, we got the following people on our LBD Sports microphone. As the president of Nisa, Saikou B Jarju.
Yeah, precisely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, we are 2 days into the event precisely, and then yesterday we were having the Executive Council forum, which was completed in the afternoon. And today we have Executive Council of Bureau de Liaison. Africa is partitioned into 5 by liaison bureaus, and then those they have to prepare on their tax assignments and then have to report back to the Executive Council that would process those information before the General Assembly or the Congress proper, which will be taking place tomorrow in the afternoon at 4 o'clock here in Banjul. So yes, that is what we talked about, the Banjul Luster AfriSport Banjul 2023. And then for the benefits of the listeners, Luster Championship Banjul 2023 is the first of its kind in the Gambia. It's the first time Gambia is hosting a continental championship or on a congress of that kind, certainly. So, and this is Worker Sports under Nisa, and then it's been hosted under the government of the Gambia through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. For you to organize such an event, you must get the blessing of your government. And this was done by the Gambia government. So we've got the blessing of the President of the Republic, we've got the blessing of the Gambia government and the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the National Sport Council. So this is not a project of Nisa, it's a project of the Gambia as a whole. Because you're expecting 22 countries, as you can see on their flags, 22 countries, and some of them even we're working on to get their flags. We don't have them here, like Sahrawi and then Eritrea, and then some of the new commerce, we're working on their flags. So 22 countries coming in the Gambia is precisely a big thing, in any sense, for a congress, a continental congress, and then sports for that matter. And the sports we're talking about 6 disciplines. We're talking about football, 11 aside, and football 6 aside. And we're talking about volleyball for both men and women. We're talking about handball for both men and women, and we're talking about petang. And then work for health also. So we have almost 6 menu for Gambians to have a taste of Africa on their luster, and that is precisely what we are in here for. So precisely the delegations have started arriving. Rwanda is around. You have Angola, you have Congo arriving. Algeria will be coming tomorrow. Senegal is already on its way coming, and they will be arriving very soon or later. And then you have Mali, Guinea-Bissau, all of them around. So you have a lot of a host of countries arriving.
All right.
So,
is there any language barrier difficulties you guys are encountering? Because 23 African countries, this is different language, different culture, and other stuff.
yeah, precisely, it does happen because some of those things has to be provided for, like translation, and then you know what it means, and you're dealing with Lusophone countries, Anglophone and Francophone. These are the 3 areas we are talking about. These Arabophones are here, but most of them, almost all the delegates, they can speak English, so there's no problem about that one. The major problem is those Lusophone countries that speak Portuguese, Guinea-Bissau, and the like. But apart from that, we don't have a major problem. And then we confronted with a lot of consideration and difficulties. That's why some of those things we have to eliminate. And then we've reached a point, even the issue of petang, we want to eliminate it out of situation because government through the Ministry of Youth and Sports have approved our budget.
Yes.
But there is so much delay to this situation, and to a point where, in fact, we faced to cut off some of the events. And then Petang is one program that we plan to take off, because it's going to cost us. And then when if organizing an event like that and you don't receive any amount of any kind, it's very difficult. You see us hiring buses to take even players to the training ground. Every bus you ask, they ask you 6,000 just to go for training. We could have got maybe 2 or 3, 4 buses at our disposal to get these visiting delegates to go for their training. But we are constrained by everything around us. And then it's like the whole thing is in our head, so we're now looking at how we can streamline some of our events and activities to make it look less attractive. And then the ambitious plan of Gambia hosting everything in that smooth order is likely getting defeated. So
Nisa is organizing this event in collaboration with the Gambia government and the Ministry of Youth and Sport. How supportive are they, and what was delayed? What specifically was delayed in this event?
At best, we have been working fruitfully with the Ministry of Youth and Sports through the government, and then definitely the first advanced team delegation that arrived were received by the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and then not only that, by the President of the Republic during the neck of time, which was very great and very reassuring, and it has given them the zeal that, yes, Gambia is effectively ready. So ministry on its part, we think there's no problem as such, but the problem is where the funds are coming. When they tell you, okay, everything is at the treasury, at finance and so forth, and those monies are not coming until we get into this program. 2 days into the event, with spending coming all over. The spendings that we're talking about, every individual that comes to this country, that person is taking care of his own expenses. So it's not like spending on them. But when they come, they should find facilities also waiting for them. And this is where we expect the government to intervene and support our way. It's not like paying for their hotel, paying for this and so forth. They come in with their own package. But they cannot fly here and have buses found here with their own buses. The host country have to provide those things for them. And many other things. Certain things but they know Gambia, of course, everybody know how these things work. So this is where we're lacking. So when we put in everything on the Ministry of Finance, if the funds are there and they don't release it, we're getting a bit frustrated and then kind of disturbed about it. And it's distracting everything about our program. Everything. Now we are streamlining and cutting everything, because by now it's the euphoria, the ambience, everything should have been excited that much. Now you know that the Petang, almost 260 delegates are already out there supposed to come. They should have been, by tomorrow they should arrive. Today the Council of Executive Members, looking at the constraint and then the problem, they said we call off that one. So it means 260 people, because a team is 3. 260 participants in Petang. Some of them would come with their family or their families. Now those people are hanging. When they add their families together, you're talking about 300 plus people to 400.
What is Petang?
Petang is bull. It's a very organized game. In fact, we want to introduce it in the Gambia for the first time. It used to be here in the 80s. We know about that one. But after some time, it disappeared. For reason best, we don't know. But we know that there was a Petang. It's bull. You throw it, and it's an elite game. It's a classic game. Very popular, very nice. With Petang, you can have about 30 football fields, 30 fields. I mean, when I say grounds where they play, 30 group playing at the same time with only one referee. It means it's a very civilized game where there is no agreement, nobody will quarrel. But the more you are playing, the more you know your scores, and there is no agreement. Only one referee can officiate 30 games at the same time, concurrently. That is to tell you how civilized it is, and people love it all over. So we want to introduce it, make it a demonstration for Gambians to see. That's why we invite in. And the countries coming, you have even going up to Europe, because France and Swiss, Monaco coming from France, all of them are coming. And then Ivory Coast, different countries are coming. We are talking about already today, this morning we have almost 260 on our platform. That's what we reported at the Executive Council meeting. But looking at the constraint, they said we call off that one. That's unfortunate. That's a huge revenue for Gambia, each paying their hotels and doing everything. And then you never know.
First and foremost, what are your impressions so far? It seems this is your first time in the Gambia.
Yeah, it's our first time we're here.
So what is the target for Rwanda and your colleagues?
Yeah, our target is to bring back the trophy, to take a trophy to our country.
To the country?
Yes.
Hope it won't be a big tax for you guys because there are some good volleyball players in the Gambia and also in Senegal and other countries.
Yeah, because we are confident, because we are strong enough. That's why we are confident to take that, to say that we will take this trophy.
How long have you been participating in this type of events, going to different countries in Africa?
It's the first time.
This is the first time in around Gambia.
Yeah, it's the first time.
What's your impression so far? Like the food, people, are you enjoying it?
Yes, we are.